Cricket is my favorite sport, but I do have to come to terms with the fact that very few people I know actually know about how to play it, let alone understanding the stats, tactics, decision making, etc. It doesn't help that cricket itself is very complicated, like a mathematical equation disguised as a sport. This series is there to help with that, even though I can already tell that most of you watching already know the stuff. I'll still pretend you don't. Let's get started. Also keep in mind that everything I'm mentioning is just the basics you need to follow along if you're watching a match. When it comes to cricket, even the most basic things can have a lot of details. A lot of details. The essence of cricket is two opposing forces. I should have made one into a palm, I made both of them into fists. The essence of cricket is two opposing forces, bat and ball.
I should have done it before.
The essence of cricket is two opposing forces, bat and ball. A batsman is there to score runs and the bowler is there to limit them, with the help of fielders. Cricket isn't a sport of continuous action, rather the play takes place ball by ball by ball. To avoid innuendos, I'm going to use the word delivery from now on. Within cricket, there are margins, which put a limit on where an action can take place from. These are very important. The main point of the game is to score more runs than your opponent. Now, how do you go about setting up a match professionally? A typical cricket match is played between two teams on a cricket field, encompassed by a boundary which serves as the borders of the game. The teams consist of 11 starting players, including a captain. Additionally, there is also a 12th man. In order for the match to begin, the captains have a coin toss, which determines who wins the coin toss. The winner then chooses whether their team bats or bowls first. You may hear the term field instead of bowl. As far as a team is concerned, they mean exactly the same thing. Once that is determined, the fielding team, all the players, spread out over the field, while the batting team sends two batsmen out to the wicket. Each team must take turns to bat and bowl. These turns are called innings, and they are usually named after whichever team was batting. Batting is done in pairs, that is, 2 by 2, one of whom faces the bowler. This batsman is the striker, while the other batsman is at the non-striker's end. Remember, only one batsman faces the bowler at a time. Speaking of which, the fielding team selects one bowler to bowl a set of 6 legal deliveries called an over. Once a bowler bowls an over, another bowler must bowl. For batting, a batsman can bat and bat and bat until they lose their wicket. More on that later. Once the batsman is out, they cannot contribute to the innings anymore, and the next batsman comes out. Not like that. If 10 batsmen lose their wicket, then the team cannot bat any longer and the innings is complete. There are also a couple of other ways an innings can be complete depending on the format. There are different formats in cricket and they can feel very different from one another. Every format can be grouped into two categories, limited overs cricket and test cricket. In limited overs, an innings has a limit of a certain number of overs. Professionally, these are 20 and 50, aka T20 and ODI. Each team bats once, the first setting a target, the second chasing it down. During these innings, there is a limit on how many overs a bowler can bowl, which is the total number of overs divided by 5. There's also what is called a power play, a set of overs when there are only a certain number of fielders allowed outside the inner circle. The match ends when the second team batting finishes the chase, or the overs run out, or the batting team is all out. In Test cricket, the limit is in days rather than overs. Professionally, it's 5. Here, each team can bat twice, with at least one having to bat twice completely for anyone to win. The team batting third sets the target. Usually, the team batting first also bats third. But if the team batting second is more than 200 runs behind, they can be asked to bat again. The match ends when the chase is complete, or the chasing team is all out, or in a draw, when the days are complete and no winner is determined. Sometimes a team may declare their innings complete if they feel they have enough runs and need the time to get the other team all out and win. Let's get this clear. Draw means no winner. Tie means scores are level. In limited overs cricket, a tie leads to a super over. Both teams have one over, assuming they don't lose 2 wickets, to score the most runs. If they draw again, the over repeats. Also, I should mention, the team that was batting last before the super over bats first during the super over, and then the next time it's the other way around. That was a lot to take in. The next stuff should be quite simple. A batsman can score runs in two ways: running or hitting boundaries. For running, the batsman gets a run every time both batsmen run across the pitch and touch their bat down. If they end up on the other side of the wicket from where they started, then the other batsman is on strike. Otherwise, it carries on as normal. However, in between overs, the strike changes on its own. For boundaries, a batsman gets 4 runs if the ball goes beyond the boundary. If the ball clears the boundary without bouncing, it's a 6. More details on that are very important, and they are coming in the upcoming videos. Tram. Every run the batsman scores counts. Every run the batsman scores counts for both themselves and the team. But there are runs that count for the team and not the batsman. Extras. Extras range from the fielders being scalloped to the batsman just not deserving those runs, and can work differently in between formats. Very differently. I should clarify something. The reason why the strike changes in between overs is because the fielding team bowls from alternating ends every over. Outside of just limiting runs, the bowling team can also get the batsman out in quite a lot of ways. I'll just be going over the common ones. Bowled. When the ball goes through and hits the stumps behind the batsman. LBW. When the ball hits the batsman's leg and would be hitting the stumps. This one is more complicated than it sounds. For now, just know that anything that isn't connected to the bat is leg, and that if the ball does hit the bat, what it hits first is quite important. Caught. When the batsman hits the ball and someone, in the field, catches it before it bounces. Run out. When the ball hits the stumps before the batsman makes it to the crease. Stumped out. When the wicketkeeper grabs the ball and hits the stumps while the batsman is outside the crease. Sometimes the wicketkeeper comes close to the stumps, particularly if the bowler is not too pacey. Before we end off the video, we're just going to go over the off and leg side. Typically, which hand you're using, you put the other side's leg further forward. The side that corresponds to your dominant hand is your off side, and the one to your leg is your leg side, or on side, whichever one you prefer. As you can imagine, there is no objective off and leg. It depends on the bowler or batsman's perspective. The batsman's is more important. For the fielding team, outside of power play restrictions, there is also a permanent restriction on the batsman that the batsman's bodyline area, that is to say the quarter circle to their leg side and back, cannot have more than 2 fielders in it. That's it for this video. Believe me, it's not gonna get any easier from here.